Welcome to episode 45 of your fun and profitable online business. This is the podcast that helps you grow with intention, momentum, and of course, a sprinkle of confetti. I'm your host, Wendy Muzzy, a certified money coach, online business strategist, and I'm here to remind you that your goals get to feel good while they get you results. Today, we're going to talk about rooting into your strengths, your natural rhythms, and what matters most to you. Because goal setting doesn't have to feel overwhelming, and it doesn't have to be rigid, and it definitely doesn't have to be aspirational to the point where it paralyzes you. We'll walk through the rhythm I use for myself and my clients. It starts with our annual focus, goes to our quarterly goals, our monthly milestones, weekly priorities, and our daily top 3. Because this supports forward momentum without burnout. And my favorite part, it aligns with how we actually work. All right, let's get to it. Let me start by giving you a moment to nod along here, because if you're like most entrepreneurs, this will feel familiar. We set these ambitious goals in January and map them out perfectly for the next 52 weeks, only to watch them slowly slide off the calendar by the 1st of February. I've been there more than once. The problem is most of us set goals based on who we wish we were, as opposed to who we actually are. And when our goals don't match our energy and our lifestyle, it feels off. You feel like you can't accomplish them or like you're failing. But what's actually happening is your system is failing you. Here's why my method works. It creates momentum. When your goals are layered from big picture down to the next best step, you always know where to put your energy. There's no more guessing, no more starting over, just clear direction. It also mirrors your natural workflow. We think in chunks. These might be seasons, months, and weeks. And our brain loves structure that repeats and resets. It also takes the pressure off the perfect plan. You can't fail with this structure. You just adjust as you go. And it builds consistency without burnout. We're not chasing unrealistic productivity here. We're building momentum you can sustain through school pickups, launches, holidays, and those days you just need a nap. This is goal setting for your real life, not your fantasy life. All right, let's get into the how. First, we start with an annual focus. This is the tone for your year. Now, it's not a checklist. It's not a rigid plan. It's just a few areas that you circle back to as you need to throughout the year. A few prompts here to help you define yours. What do I want more of this year? Where do I want momentum? And where does my business need strengthening? Maybe your annual focus is your email list or YouTube. It could also be SEO or public speaking, or even a new tech you want to integrate in your business. Here you want to list 3 to 5 areas to narrow in on your focus, but keep it simple. I typically just use keywords. For 2025, one of my annual focuses was podcasting. That's it, one word. And here we are. And surprisingly, I have found out that I love every single minute of it. Next, we break those into quarterly goals. This is where your bold ideas get structure. Quarters are ideal because they're short enough to stay on track, long enough to see real results, and forgiving for when life happens, because life is going to continue to life on us. Each goal should define the outcome, and they can be answered with a yes or no. For example, launch a project. Did I do it? Yes or no? Grow my audience by 25%. Secure 3 collaborations. Create a new lead magnet or launch my first podcast episode. All of these are a yes or no answer for us. Now, after we have our quarterly goals, we zoom in to our monthly milestones. These are bite-sized, doable chunks that support our quarterly goals. Here you ask yourself, what's the meaningful chunk of progress I can complete in the next 30 days? Here are some examples. Submit 4 guest podcast pitches, or meet with a collaborator and outline a workshop to co-host, or interview your ideal client to identify your lead magnet topic, or make key decisions for your podcast, like graphics, platform, timing, etc. And here's the important part. Normalize adjusting your milestones based on your energy and your capacity. If December is full of holiday events, your milestone might just be a singular thing. That still counts as progress. Now, next we narrow into our weekly priorities. This is where your milestones move into action. We tend to overdo this. We like to do more as business owners. I get it. Here you want to try to keep this to 3 weekly priorities max, and they should circle back to your monthly milestones. Here's some examples. Finalize your collaboration pitch or draft 3 podcast covers to get feedback on. That's it. Simple. So from there, we really let the rubber hit the road. And this is the reason why the whole rhythm works. It's your daily top 3. I like to think of it as your anti-overwhelm tool. Why do we do 3? Because 3 tasks create consistency, give us a dopamine hit every single day, and guarantee progress. Now, these should come from your weekly priorities. You want to keep them small, tight, and doable. In the emotional payoff, you get to end the day thinking, I moved the needle today. Self-high five. And that feeling builds momentum faster than any giant to-do list ever will, I promise you. Now, there have been seasons where I've fallen off this rhythm because of travel or launches or just life. But every time I come back to it, I immediately feel recentered. And clients have said the same thing to me again and again. This isn't about perfection. It's simply returning to your annual focus and breaking it into small, manageable steps. All right, I'm going to hand out a few permission slips here because none of us are robotic. You can adjust any layer of the structure at any time. Maybe your energy shifts, or life gets hectic, you have a new idea, or you need more rest than usual. You're allowed to adjust this without shame. This is being human. Take it and make it your own. All right, let's get to your action step for this week. I want you to define your annual focuses for 2026. Remember, we're going to do 3 to 5 of these. Ask yourself, where do I want momentum? What do I want to feel more of in my business? And what excites me most? And if you want to go deeper, go download my 2026 planning template at wendymuzzy.com/plan. This tool will give you the space to set up your annual focuses all the way down to your daily top 3. Next week, I'm giving you my 2025 wrap-up of my fun and profitable online business. Before you go into the new year, we're going to pause here for a minute. I'm sharing what I celebrated, what I let go of, and the simple system that saved my sanity this time last year. All right, until next time, happy goal setting.